mother's DNA or her chromosomes, we get the balding head. So at 40 years of age, I start going bald. So what I do, the emphasis is on my beard, so my beard grows really profusely. So you spray the nourishing mist on your hair, ladies, or your beard, and that's to give the hair nourishment. And then that's followed by using what I call a hydrator, because the hair needs hydration. This is made from Jamaican black castor oil. Jamaican black castor oil is one of the best. It's renowned. It's the elixir of oils. It has all the things that your hair needs: antibacterial, antifungal, anticarcinogenic, and antimicrobial. Loads and loads of things that your hair needs. It is the elixir of hair oils, because we need oils. Jamaican black castor oil. This is called the hydrator. And then, of course, the meat and potatoes of the brand in the tier 2 is the leave-in moisturizer. We are now moved into an era a renaissance called the natural hair movement. The natural hair movement means a lot to me, because it simply means that the sisters, we're talking about claiming your trust. In that movement, for the first time, the sisters have collapsed the trust in other people's bits and pieces, and they've claimed the trust. That's to me in their own hair. So what you see around London, in New York, in Africa, in the Caribbean, women are wearing the natural hair, huge afros, lots of twist outs, locks, the lot. And so for those styles, you need the Derek Clement leave-in moisturizer. So you apply that with the hydrator and the nourishing mist, and that's daily nutrients for the hair, because your hair needs 3 things to assist it in its growing procedure. That's moisture, hydration, and nourishment. And there's 3 more things, guys, because bear in mind, as I said, it's a system. There's 3 more things. And why not? You should pamper yourself. You are a queen, and in many cases, you are an emperor. So in the tradition of our culture, that is, if you are from the Caribbean or if you're African, our ancestors, our mothers, and our aunts, and the matriarch, they went about feeding. I use the word feeding, but I think for a long time we used the word grease. I don't like that term. I'd rather feeding. So you can see the traditional image of the daughter sitting beneath her mother's or grandmother's or aunt laps, and the grandmother or the aunt is endeavoring to feed or grease the scalp and the hair and moisturize the hair, and then she will then go into braiding or combing the hair. Okay? And so what I've created is a sheen oil mist. This is very oily. This is again from the Jamaican black castor oil, because of the properties that this oil has in it. Jamaican black castor oil. Secondly, you would then use, I've created in the tier 3, the hair and scalp food. This is made from hemp, right? Or basically what we call ganja. And what this does, this helps to assist women whose hair, for instance, is suffering from traction alopecia or CCCA, which is, again, as I said, alopecia of the scalp, which is very, very common. What causes that type of alopecia, CCCA? It's in the scalp. It's centrifugal. It's in the middle, and it goes bald and money. So women suffer from this alopecia, and one of the things that causes that is high blood pressure. So if you are taking high blood pressure medication in various tablets, it will inhibit your hair growth. Why? Because high blood pressure medication is a calcium blocker. Your hair needs minerals and nutrients for it to grow. So if the body is suffering any kind of dis-ease, what the body does, it would remove the medication going to the hair and provide it to the part of the body that's damaged or in disrepair. So the hair suffers. And unfortunately, high blood pressure medication is one of those medications that blocks calcium going into your hair cells, and it goes elsewhere to look after your bits and pieces. So you have to bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, prevention is better than cure. If you try to prevent getting high blood pressure medication by going back to using sustainable foods that our ancestors provided for our well-being, we know what they are. All the gingers and the turmerics and all of these wonderful things, all the herbs and spices that we were socialized to take as children back home. We need to go back to nature, as I mentioned before. Sankofa movement, go back to get it, okay, because it will sustain you. And last but not least, we've got the hair and scalp food. Again, this is a bit from Jamaican black castor oil and shea butter. All those have shea butter in them, with Jamaican black castor oil and vitamin E. And the Jamaican black castor oil with the shea butter from Ghana and Nigeria, they are just amazing. They are ubiquitous. They are, as I said, the elixir of oils. They're brilliant. They're good for our well-being and for our health. And also, it's not just for your hair. The way my product is designed, this is my sample, guys. Right? The way it's designed, it's not just for the hair. It's not just alone for the hair, but I put this on my lips. I put this on my bald head like this, and it goes on my skin and all over the place. It is not just for the hair, but it's for your skin as well. All right? My daughter, my 5-year-old daughter uses it. My 30-year-old daughter uses it. My 17-year-old daughter uses it. It's all from our ancestors. Okay? As the ancestor says, only use products that are indigenous to your ancestors. Don't use things like olive oil. That's not indigenous to us. That's for another people. Use the things that's from your backyard. You know what Nigerians do? They love the palm oil. Jamaican love the castor oil. Grenadians love the coconut oil. Ghanaians love the shea butter. Go back and get it. And therefore, what you're doing is collapsing the trust you've have in those high street shops that are selling nothing but carcinogenic substances, and use indigenous, holistic, and sustainable products. And hair growth is also, as I use the word holistic, hair growth is holistic. You have to be in a good state of mind. You have to be whole, psychologically, physiologically, mentally, spiritually, for hair growth. Because women are dying for the hair to grow. But how could your hair grow if it's been bombarded with carcinogenic substances? It doesn't make no sense. You can't fight these pathogens in the air if you're not looking after yourselves. In other words, hair growth depends also on good immunity. If you're anti-immune, then your hair will also suffer, which causes inflammation. Inflammation triggers alopecia. Alopecia means hair loss. And men also suffers from alopecia. It's called alopecia barbae, where your beard would fall off and you get balding beard. I remember having balding beard a few years ago when I was a young man studying very hard, and my beard went bald at the bottom, and I now realize it's stress. Stress causes your beard and your hair to go bald. Okay, guys, and so that is essentially what we must do. Collapse the trust to reclaim your tress. Because your tress is your treasure. It's your crown and it's your glory. As I said, Revelations 2 chapter 9, I know your tribulation, I know your poverty, I know your works, but you are indeed rich. That's likened to hair. Our hair has been going through all kinds of problems over the years, over the centuries, over the decades, but yet there's something wrong in the atmosphere that telling our children that the hair is worth less, when in actuality our hair is the only hair type that grows up. It defies gravity. It grows